All right. Good evening, my friends. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so it can be with you forever. I'm going to leave my email in the description, so if you want an astrology chart reading, a personalized tarot reading, music production lessons, or just anything at all, feel free to hit me up there. And as always, I'm going to leave my Patreon and YouTube membership in the description. And so I'm pretty much almost finished my Dragon Ball script for that documentary, so I'm going to be uploading that script on there. So if you want to check it out, be sure to subscribe to those things pretty much, and then you'll have access to that. All right, so we're going to get right into this. I'm going to try to do this pretty quickly just because I'm a bit tired tonight. So there's a lot of stuff happening astrologically. We have the solstice tomorrow, as well as a solar eclipse that's happening in Asia around. So if you're in that area, definitely keep an eye out for that intense energy that's going to be happening. And also, we have Mars about to enter Aries, which is its home sign, and that's where it's going to be doing its retrograde. That's going to be a big thing. So overall, I'm kind of a little bit concerned for the upcoming months. Definitely be prepared for some kind of warfare of some sort. Whatever that looks like, it's going to be different depending on where you are in the world. But we're just going to start off with a collective reading. I always do a 3-card draw and pull up clarifiers if need be. So let's just do it right now for the collective. For everyone on Earth, what have we got here for the next season of Cancer? What have we got? Okay. All right, all reversals here. So already everything's blocked. Like I said, there's a lot of retrogrades happening. And, we're just kind of in a place where everything's weird. But the first card we pulled up is the Page of Cups. So we're coming in here pretty confused, I would say, and not really feeling like our emotional needs are being met. We're not really getting the news that we want to hear. We feel like we're stagnant. This is definitely dealing, especially with emotions and understanding things on an emotional level. We're not getting that clarity, and we're not getting that understanding. We also have Judgment reversed. So again, like I've been saying the last season, we're kind of in this eye of the storm a little bit. I feel like we've been reliving a lot of what's happened during the last decade, just in the last month almost. It's like everything that's kind of been bubbling up under the surface has been coming out, not just with Black Lives Matter, but also with a lot of people, celebrities getting called out for, sexual allegations, being sexual predators, or just being Me Too'd. A lot of that stuff's happening up again. So a lot of these loose ties with our karma from the past decade are just kind of coming up here right now. So this Judgment reversed, we're not really coming in here with a sense, and this is the centered card, right? So there is a sense where people who feel like they have a call for action are going to feel blocked. Like people who feel like they need to do something, or people who feel like they need to take action in something, and that there's a change happening. I need to do this. I need to, step up to the plate, so to speak, in your life. You're going to feel really blocked, and you're going to feel really confused, especially with this Page of Cups. It's like you don't really know what's happening. We're reliving everything. So it's like, Judgment Day isn't necessarily here right now. The time to act isn't here, but it's going to feel really blocked, like we have to get there, so to speak. And then at the end, we have the 7 of Cups in reversed. So there's not many options for us to look around for. There's not many things to really look forward to, I would say. The 7 of Cups, when it's upright, it's like it's looking at all the possibilities, all the possible treasures, all the possible fields of life that we can go through and enjoy in life. But when it's in reverse, we're definitely not feeling that. And, these are all reversals. So this is definitely a time to really self-reflect, really get in touch with yourself. I think this isn't a time to really go out in terms of, trying new things. I think this is a time to really start reflecting a lot on our lives and where we've been and where we're going, and just sort of taking it as it is and not really getting caught up in trying to figure things out and looking at like all the different options. I'm going to pull up another clarifier here just to see like, you know, what can we draw upon to get through this kind of setback, so to speak. We have the Ten of Swords. So yeah, we just kind of have to deal with the shit that's happening. That's ultimately what this is. There's no other way to put it than just to, you know, accept that this is the situation that we're in, and, you know, things are temporary. Things aren't going to last forever. It may feel really difficult and really stagnant during this time. But, you know, there is always hope in the end, because everything always passes. And with all these reversals and all of this, there's definitely a change of, you know, since there's so much repression of all this energy. And there's also a Mercury retrograde on top of that. So that's also confusing things. You know, but people get too caught up in Mercury retrograde, and it's kind of stupid, I think. So that's the collective. Let's go right into the Cancers. So this is going to be a heavy month for Cancers. All that cup energy, all that emotional shit is coming up to surface here. We're going to feel blocked, but like it's still there, right? So what do we got for Cancers in the season of Cancer here? Ooh. Cards are popping up. What have we got here? What have we got for the Cancers? The crab people. They're always kind of crabby, eh? Oops. All right, one more little shuffle here. What have we got for Cancers? All right, so starting off here, we have the Seven of Swords in reversed. So this is either you thinking you can get away with something, or feeling like, you know, you have something that you're sneaking around with, and, you know, you're just sneaking around. Or what this could mean is that you're very suspicious of other people, feeling very suspicious of what other people are doing. You're mistrustful of other people in your life. And this is definitely coming from a place internally that you're projecting onto other people. So definitely I would say pay attention to this, because the centered card is the King of Cups in reversed. So you're not really in the know-how of all your emotions and all of your, you know, ability to understand everything on an emotional level, right? Everything's kind of confusing in that realm. So definitely this aspect of the Seven of Swords in reverse here, where you're feeling, you know, that you don't really trust people at all, is definitely going to hold you back. So if you're getting into those kinds of thought patterns of being mistrustful of people, you know, definitely take a step back, get more in touch with your emotions, more in touch with your intuition, I would say, because this is a month where, especially as we have the Mercury retrograde in your own sign, you know, you're going to feel very out of it. You're not really going to have a logical sense of things in your life, because you do have the Nine of Swords at the end here, which is, you know, this is kind of the card of insomnia, so to speak. And it's a very difficult card because, you know, it's all in the mind and being worried about the future. So if you're getting worried, it's, you know, it's not best to really delve into this thought process. I'm going to pull up another card here. And, ooh, just to get through this, you got the Lovers card. So this is definitely like a really good pointer throughout all of this sort of mental anxiety and feeling, you know, not really confident in yourself and not really feeling like you know all the answers, or you feel very suspicious, is just choose love. You know, come from a place of love, follow your heart, so to speak. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantically, although this card is definitely symbolic of that aspect. It can also just mean a general love of life, a love of other people, having those strong connections with people that you do trust. So if there are people that you feel mistrustful of, you know, find the people in your life that, you know, you can find a lot of stability and grounding in, and, you know, find that love again. So Wish you all the best, Cancers. Now we're getting on to Leo. And also, I just realized that tomorrow, with the summer solstice and the solar eclipse, is Father's Day. So it's a lot of big things. I guess, you know, it can be symbolic of fathers needing to take up the reins a little bit here. So what have we got here for the Leos, the attention seekers? It's almost Leo season. You know, they're excited for that. All right. What have we got here for Leos? Ooh, card fell out here. Card fell out was Temperance. So keep that in the background. Make sure everything's balanced out. Everything's, you know, you're coming from a place of balance ultimately as your foundation. So whenever a card pops up like that, just kind of put it in the background of your mind that no matter what's happening, just make sure to keep everything balanced out in your life. You know, don't be excessive in any aspect. You know, just take it easy on yourself, but also don't get too lazy, right? It's Temperance. It's all about balance, right? So what do we have here? All right, so this is interesting. First card here is you got the Ten of Swords. So you're definitely starting off this season feeling betrayed or feeling stuck or feeling very trapped, right? You're feeling very much like you're not going anywhere. And this is definitely a card where, you know, this guy's got a fucking bunch of swords jammed in his back. He can't move anywhere. So you're definitely feeling like that coming in. And you have this Magician card as a central thing. So no matter what's happening in your external life that's holding you back or keeping you stuck or feeling like you're betrayed somehow by the world, you get back in touch with your true talents and sort of master your craft of what you're best at. I think this is definitely going to be a time to really focus and hone in on your skills and hone in on your ability to create something in the world, right? That's what the Magician does. He's a creator. Because at the end here, you do have the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords, you know, it's bringing the message in. It's bringing the clarity, the mental clarity that you want so much. That's definitely sort of a very good aspect, I think, coming at the end of this, especially from this Ten of Swords at the beginning here. And, you know, making sure to follow a place of balance and following in with your magician aspects of, you know, honing your skills, mastering your craft. And I think this is when you're going to get that clarity and that, you know, propelling to move forward and getting out of these traps that you find yourself in. But you do have to come at it from a place of temperance, a place of balance, a place of objectivity. I think this is a time where people are very much choosing belief systems and ideas that aren't really in line with their true selves. So take things with a grain of salt and really get in touch with those skills of yours, and you'll stop feeling so trapped, so to speak. Okay, Virgos have had tough readings the last few times. There's some people in the chat just keep retracting their messages. Don't do that. That's annoying. I hate when people do that. When people spam the chat and then delete all their messages, so then there's just a long list of message retracted. Like, okay. Yeah, so Virgos have had some pretty gnarly readings the last few times, and, you know, they've been getting it hard, I think. But I feel like things are going to be turning around a little bit. You know, with all of this energy that was like the retrograde in Gemini, all of that was squaring your sign. So, you know, it was definitely a little bit difficult. But with all that square energy, squaring, while it is difficult, it really pushes people to a higher sense of self, right? It really pushes you to become your best self. And I think that's the benefit of the square in astrology. So take it as it is. So what have we got here for the Virgos? What have we got? Okay. All right. So first off, you got the Hanged Man. So with this coming in, you're definitely feeling stuck. This is definitely a theme I'm feeling with everyone. Just everyone feeling stuck in their own world, feeling stuck in their lives, in their workplace, and just everything in life. We're all feeling stuck, like we're not really moving forward. And, after that is a central thing. You have the Four of Pentacles in reversed. So I think with this, it's like you're holding on to something that you need to let go of, or, because this is the Pentacles, is dealing with material possessions, dealing with finances. You might be holding on to something that's really not to your best benefit. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this one to sort of put you in a better direction in terms of what you can look for, to terms of what you're letting go of. It's definitely something in the physical, I would say, whether that's in your day-to-day life and the way you're planning things out, or what you're holding on to. That's not really to your best benefit, and I think that's the main thing that's blocking you, because you also have the Two of Cups in reversed. And with whatever you're holding, that's definitely blocking you from making those deep connections that you want, and with people in your life, and whether that's with love or just friendships or just people in general. This is the soulmate card, but it applies to all people in your life. Soulmates are interchangeable between friendships and business partners and even enemies. So whatever you're holding on to is definitely blocking you from attaining what you want in terms of partnerships. I'm going to pull a clarifier as to what this Four of Pentacles reversed is, and it's the Empress. So this is definitely dealing with your self-worth, and there might be an aspect where you feel like you're holding on to something. It's almost like you're holding on to an aspect of feeling like you don't deserve something, feeling like it's not going to work out for you, or feeling like you're poor. There's like poverty almost, like, because with the Empress, it's like she's living in full abundance, living in full wealth, so to speak. So if this is like the direction you can look for in terms of like letting go of something, I definitely see it as letting go of a mindset of poverty, a mindset of feeling like you don't deserve something. So, I would think about that for this coming season, and I wish you all the best. All right. What have we got here for the Libras? Oh, the Libras. I was actually reading up a lot about Vladimir Putin, and he's a Libra, which I found very interesting, because Libras are very, everything has to be balanced and everything has to be in order, especially with friendships. And seeing Vladimir Putin in that kind of vein definitely gave me a little bit more insight into his character. We kind of like to think of Putin as this oligarch, evil emperor, but he's actually he's fair, but in a very disciplined way, I would say. All right, Libras, what do we got here for the month of Cancer? What have we got? Libras, Libras, Libras. Do one more little shuffle here. All right. All right, we got 2 pages in here. This is definitely an interesting one. I'm definitely sensing a lot of mental stuff happening, but you have the Page of Swords upright here coming in. And, the way I would see this, it's like you're coming into some new ideas, new clarity on something in your life, a new perspective, a new fresh perspective. And I think this is definitely good, especially for Libras, and especially compared to everyone that's feeling very blocked. Libras, I feel like you're coming in here, very clear, but in terms of an intellectual capacity in your communications with people, you're very clear cut. You understand where you stand with people and what you kind of want to do on day-to-day life. But you do have the Page of Wands in reversed in the middle here. So while, Page of Swords, it's a lot smaller in terms of like your communication with people, your ability to connect with other people. With the Page of Wands in reversed, we're looking at the big vision here, your beliefs, your passions, your desires, your drives, and where you want to go moving forward in your life. And this is definitely an aspect that's blocked. So when we have a Page of Swords in reverse and a Page of Wands, Page of Swords upright and a Page of Wands reversed, you're kind of in a little bit of a duality here. You have one aspect of you where you feel like everything's clear cut. You understand people, you understand your place in your day-to-day life. But when it comes to the long-term vision and, you know, your long-term prospects and your visions for your life, and even just your belief system, right? What do you believe in? What's your vision and destiny, all that crap. You might feel blocked this month. And you have the Moon card at the end here. So I definitely feel like this is an aspect to look into in terms of your deeper emotions. You know, the Moon card is really dealing with the subconscious. And, you know, there's a little lobster here at the bottom. So this is definitely very in line with Cancer season, as the Moon is the ruling sign of this, the ruling planet of this sign. So, you know, definitely take a look in your intuition. And I feel like if you're having blockages or struggles with, you know, finding the right belief system or finding the right vision for yourself, whether that's, you know, just in terms of like, even if it's just a moral thing, right? There's so many beliefs that are coming out here, what the right thing to do is. And I feel like with Libras, they want to find balance with all of that. And, you know, when the Page of Swords is upright, it's like, yeah, they can communicate with people, they can listen to people, they're very receptive to what's going on. But when it comes to actually making their own choice and making their own decision of what do I believe in, what's the right thing for me, I think they're having difficulty with that. And I think if you're having difficulty with that, it's to look really deep within and go from a place of your subconscious, of, you know, finding the vision from within, I would say. And I think that will take you to where you need to go. Okay, Scorpios. The scorpions, the poisonous ones who are very, you know, dark and shit. Scorpios always got something dark going on. Even if they're the life of the party, they're having a good time, they're like, you know, halfway through the party, they're like pulling you aside and they're just like, hey man, you ever hear about ancient aliens in Egypt, man? I don't know. They've always got something weird going on. They always surprise me a little bit. Like, I feel like you know everything about a Scorpio, or you feel like you're on the same page with them, and then all of a sudden just something comes out of them that you didn't expect, and you're like, oh shit, did not see that coming. But then they're always like super cool every other time, you know? Okay. What have we got here for these Scorpios for this month here? What have we got? Okay. All right, so this is an interesting one. For the first card we have is Strength in Reversed. So you're definitely not feeling at your fullest strength. You feel like maybe you're not really aligned with what you really want to accomplish in your day-to-day life. You feel like you don't have the strength to get through everything. You know, when it comes to this card, it's not necessarily physical strength. It's more about endurance and dealing with the bullshit of all your life and everything around you. It's really that discipline and endurance to push through it. And you might come into it feeling weak, like you can't really accomplish anything, you can't really get anything done, because this is definitely coming in at the middle card. You have the Two of Swords upright. So there is a decision you have to make in your life, and there is a sort of path that you need to go down that you're having a very difficult time making. And I think this is tying in with that strength to actually just make a decision. You know, and I feel like with this card, it's definitely a lot of confusion, and the Strength reversed here, you know, you really need to find that inner strength again and really tap back into that aspect to go forward in your life and not get stuck in the middle and sitting on the fence too long, because you'll end up falling and hurting yourself, right? So, you know, I would definitely say that with this card, it's not so much of just making the decision, but moving forward in a way that makes sense for you. Because the outcome here is you have this Eight of Pentacles. So whatever's putting you into a grind and putting you into that day-to-day works cycle, and you know, that kind of mastery. I sort of see this card as a level of mastery, right? But it's on a physical sense. It's about mastering something in the physical realm. You're practicing a craft. Whatever that craft is that you're trying to become master at, just really get into that. And even if it's just your day-to-day job, your work life, I think this is definitely the card to look for in terms of where you need to go. It's just finding that routine that you have in your day-to-day life that's going to be in bettering your life somehow, and not getting caught up in having to make decisions or feeling up in the air, not really knowing what to do, or feeling in doubt of yourself that you don't have the strength. I think if you just get right into whatever you need to do, it'll definitely solve your problems pretty quickly. That's kind of what I'm seeing from this reading, so to speak. And just getting into that grind and that day-to-day routine. Okay, Scorpios, get it done. All right, Sagittarius. So this is my sign here. Let's see what we got from my sign, for my people. Oh boy. Not many Sagittarius in the limelight right now. The way I'm seeing it is like a lot of Gemini, a lot of air signs just in general are getting a lot of the spotlight at the moment. And yeah, maybe some Leo action coming in a lot. But the Sagittarius, I'm not really seeing a lot of energy in terms of a lot of influence, at least in the last months or so. So I'm gonna be curious to see what we have in store here for this upcoming season. What have we got for the Sagittarius? Okay. All right. So right off the bat here, we have the Five of Swords in reversed. So with this, how would I say this? It's always like a fight that no one wins at, right? So it's just playing dirty. But since it's in reversed, you know, it's like you feel like you've been played dirty. You feel like you've been in a fight where you didn't get the outcome you wanted, but in reality, it might be just all in your head. You might not actually be dealing with this. You might just be assuming everything around you. You might be assuming that people are just treating you badly, or people are just playing dirty, when in reality, maybe it's not necessarily that you're playing dirty, but you're just not being open enough, so to speak. You're not being open enough to people, because you do have the Sun card in the middle here. And with this, it's always, you know, your inner light, your inner radiance, what's going to magnify people to you. And if you're having discordances with people, or feeling disconnected, or feeling like you're treated unfairly, and especially in the reverse position, it's like you need to come from a place of inner beauty, inner radiance, your inner child, you know, what makes you happy in your day-to-day life, and radiating that happiness with other people in your life. You know, what are you radiating? Because Sagittarius is, you know, it is a fire sign. It is fire. It is dealing with the sun. So especially, this is the main theme here of just refinding your happiness again and getting in touch with that radiance. And then at the end here, you have the Nine of Wands in reversed. So I feel like with this, it's like you're getting out of situations where you're feeling like you're constantly blocked, and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere. And like I said, it's like a lot of this stuff is in your head. A lot of this stuff is just your assumptions about the world, because you're closed off, so to speak. You're closed off from everyone. You're closed off from connecting with people. And it's due to this fact that you felt like you've been treated unfairly and felt like you've been beaten down a lot. And I think that if you let that go, follow your inner radiance and your inner happiness, and that radiance will attract the good things in your life, all that crap, right? And I think this is definitely the time to stop kind of moping around I'm definitely seeing a lot of that kind of aspects of this moping around, this disgruntled energy, and just kind of pulling out of that and just being happy even if things are pretty shit anyway, you know? Just putting on a smile at the end of the day. All right, Capricorns, what have we got for the goats? For the serious goats. The bad boys. They also are getting a lot of good attention lately, you know, with like Jeff Bezos and who else is a Capricorn? Andrew Yang is a Capricorn. But, you know, with all this shit that's coming into Capricorn, we have Saturn coming back into Capricorn, and that's going to be heavy. So just people be aware of that, of this Capricorn shit that's going to fuck everything up. And then you also have Mercury retrograde in your relationship house. So, you know, you might not have a lot of clarity in your relationships, so to speak. So be prepared for that. And just not really understanding where everything is set at, you know, romantically specifically. All right. What have we got here for the Capricorns for this season? Okay. All right. So, we got kind of a similar reading to the Sagittarius here, like somewhat similar. But the first card we have is the Sun in reverse. So again, you're not really coming in to this season feeling very happy about anything. You're feeling kind of like just gloomy, I would say. Just kind of not happy, not necessarily depressed, but just kind of like, hey, I got to get through this. And I think this is a time to, you know, start getting in touch with that again. Because at the center of this, you have the Devil reversed. So Devil reversed is pulling out of all this demonic shit that's holding you back and not into your best interest. And I think this is definitely what's holding you in a position of feeling, you know, lack of inner radiance, so to speak. So definitely pulling out of that shit that's holding you back and making you feel like shit every day. You know, that's the stuff that's, you know, toxic for you. And it's not good for anybody. And at the end here, you do have the Nine of Wands upright. So, you know, you're definitely coming out of here feeling mistrustful of things. I'm not really sure why. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this one because this is the same card that happened before. And you have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, it's like you've put in the work for something. You've planted your seeds, but nothing's coming to. Nothing's growing. You feel like you've put in all this work and you feel like you've been through so much shit and you just keep getting battered down and pushed down, and there's just always this desert that's holding you back. And I think that's what's really keeping you in these devilish aspects that are holding you back and not really to your best benefit. You know, I think this is time to just have patience. I think with the seeds that you've planted and the things that you've been growing, this is definitely the time to, you know, have that patience, so to speak. Have that patience to sit it through and have faith with the prospects, because you're feeling like you're not getting the benefits or the gifts in your life. And I think it's just a matter of letting go of those holds that are pushing you back, those demonic things that are pushing you back, whether those are thought patterns or habits. A lot of this is habits, especially because of Neptune and Mars and all that crap of, you know, just drugs and alcohol. So I think that's definitely hitting Capricorns a lot, I would say. Okay. Aquariuses. Aquarii. Oh, I hate when that happens. When you're about to sneeze and you don't. It's the worst feeling. Okay. Aquarius. What have we got for the Aquarius? Card popped out here. We got the Magician card. So We're going to put that on the back burner here. All right, here. What do we got for the Aquarius? All right, so we got the Seven of Swords up right here. So definitely coming in, feeling, you're getting away with something. You're being sneaky. You're being, like a little mischievous little piece of shit here, to put it bluntly. And, I would say with this, it's, is it really worth getting away with something that is not right and being dishonest in that way? Because you do have the center card, Page of Swords. So this is the truth. Are you being in alignment with truth? So I definitely think that it's like you're coming in here being mischievous. You're not really telling the full truth. You're kind of being sneaky. You're kind of just not being fully honest. And I think with this, it's like this is the call to action to really like become accountable for what you are doing and being direct and communicating with others effectively and being honest. I think this is definitely a month where you're coming in here not being fully honest with things, and it's not necessarily that you're telling a bold lie, but it's almost like you're hiding something and you're not really communicating it with someone in your life. You're not really communicating shit in your life. And this is definitely telling you like it's time to tell the truth, time to be honest with yourself, be honest with other people especially. And I think this is a lot with communicating. And with this Two of Pentacles in reverse, this is definitely coming out of situations where you're juggling things and things aren't balancing out. You're sort of overworked. You're sort of juggling out your time. And I think you're using this as a crutch from actually being honest with yourself and honest with others. It's like, oh, I'm too busy right now. I'm busy with this right now. I can't deal with that right now. And I think this is definitely an aspect where you are lying to yourself when you're doing that, because there's something you need to get out. There's something you need to communicate. There's something you just need to get over with in your life. And you're not getting to it. You're coming up with excuses of why you're so busy all the time and why I have to do this right now. I think this is a bunch of bullshit. I'm calling out Aquariuses right now. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it right here live. Aquariuses are hiding shit. They're not getting to the core of their issues and they're not being honest. And I think this Page of Swords is telling you, be direct, be clear, get this shit out of the way, get it done with, and you won't have to feel like you're juggling shit all the time and making excuses for yourself. Put it simply. And Magician, that was in the background here. So, this is definitely coming into from a place of your highest self in the regard of the world, right? In terms of like the skills that you have and the talents you bring to the world. You might be holding yourself back in an aspect and being dishonest with yourself from truly attaining a sense of your magicianship, of your mastery in the world. It's something to think about in the background, right? Okay. Pisces, overly emotional Pisces. Always so deep and emotional. And sometimes serial killers. Just kidding. But Pisces are notorious for having the highest number of serial killers who are also Pisces. But there's a lot of great things about Pisces too, because they're deep in touch with that deep intuition and subconscious aspects in their lives. But sometimes when you're that deep, you can kind of lose yourself, right? Okay. What have we got for the Pisces? The Pisces. What have we got? Okay. All right. So first card we got is Justice Reversed. So definitely feeling like nothing's fair right now. You're feeling like the whole world around you is not fair and everything's unjust, and you're feeling blocked in that department, and I think this is very clear for everyone, and I feel like everyone's feeling blocked right now, except maybe the Libras. Maybe the Libras have some clarity in terms of understanding, like, their direct communication with people. But with Pisces, you're definitely feeling like nothing's fair anymore. Nothing's fair. That's my impression of a Pisces, just crying and being emotional. But you do have the Queen of Cups. So I think definitely with Pisces, knowing your emotions, knowing your sense of self on a subconscious level, especially with emotions and feeling and intuition, if you can tap into that, which is your natural sort of place in the world and what you're good at, I feel like you can find a lot of strength there. And I feel like if you really tap into that intuition and you sort of see things from that point of view and conduct your life through that point of view, and you'll be able to sort of see things and not really get caught up in, is this fair or not? Because with justice, it's very much dealing with very concrete things, dealing with the earth and the air and things that are physical, of the physical world, so to speak. The physical world is unfair. But when you get in touch with your emotions, it's like then you can realize that you can bring an aspect to the world or in your life that's fair to yourself almost, and feeling those emotions that do bring you happiness and comfort, that even though the outside world might not be to your best benefit, you can sort of rely off your own self and your own ability to care for yourself almost. But you do have this Five of Swords upright at the end. So there is an aspect of playing dirty here. I'm going to pull a clarifier for this one. But yeah, it's like there is an aspect of you being kind of deceptive and playing dirty with other people and not really, just not really playing fair. And, I think definitely when you're in touch with your intuitions and in touch with your emotions, you can kind of maybe use those to a degree that's kind of not really rational, I would say. I think when people get too caught up in their feelings, they can sort of project onto other people. I think I'm seeing that a lot. I'll just pull a clarifier just in case. And yeah, the Chariot Reverse. And basically what I've been talking about here, whatever is in your emotions that you're kind of projecting out in the world, that's going to be blocking you. And whatever's happening in the world that's blocking you, don't use that as an excuse to play dirty with other people and manipulate other people or make other people feel bad if you feel like they're in a place where they don't deserve something and you do, right? I think this is definitely the challenge with the Queen of Cups energy. While I think that this is definitely beneficial for you to feel more self-confident in yourself and feeling like, you can be fair to yourself, I would definitely avoid bringing that into the outside world and projecting that onto other people. That's what I'll say on that. All right, Aries. We're getting ready for Mars coming into your sign here, so this is going to be epic. With that retrograde in there, you're gonna have to reconfigure everything about yourself in terms of your sense of identity, right? And really getting in touch with that fiery spirit again, because I think this is the time where Aries are going to be called to action almost. All right, so what have we got for the Aries here? I'll do a couple little shuffles. Okay. For the person asking, Cancer is already done. You can rewind and see it again. Okay. So these are some cards that we've already been pulled up. But we got that Seven of Swords reversed again. This card has been popping up a lot. So Aries, whatever you're sneaking around with, you got to get out of that. But this is in reversed, so this could be a projection that you're putting onto other people and assuming that other people are being sneaky. But yeah, I'm gonna pull on that. I feel like you're definitely disconnecting from people and being mistrustful of them. And there's another card here that will illustrate that. But the second card we have is the Page of Cups, and this has come out for other readings. I think this is in the collective reading. So yeah, I think this is definitely the time to really communicate your emotions effectively, understand your emotions, and I think there's definitely going to be clarity in terms of what you're feeling and what you're going through. And I feel like this is definitely dealing with other people that are affecting you. So whatever this change is and whatever this new direction that you're understanding is coming from a place of self, because you do have the Three of Pentacles in reversed. So there's something that's out of, you know, rhythm here with other people, right? Whether you're mistrustful of other people or there's something about you in this circumstance that's not really connecting with other people properly right now. And I think this is coming from a place where your emotions are not really in the right place. And I think with this Page of Cups upright, it's like it's time to deal with those emotions and deal with those subconscious issues that you might have been putting off. And when that hit comes and you need to take action and understand those things to really put your effort into it, I think this isn't a time to really focus on other people in your life, focus on your network, focus on your small relationships. I think this is a time to really look and focus on yourself. I'm going to pull up a clarifier here for you. Yeah, that Nine of Pentacles upright. So definitely aim towards a sense of feeling substantial and having that financial abundance, right? That's what this card means. It means abundance. I have everything going for me right now. And I think that it's less to do with other people and more to do with yourself. Do you feel like you deserve these things and feel like you are worthy of having the greatness in your life? And this is kind of like playing off the same kind of thing with the Virgos of feeling like you have that sense of self-worth. And yeah, just going through with that. I think that's important to really aim for that kind of aspect and focus on yourself. I think this is definitely a time for Aries to focus on themselves, focus on their emotions, deal with those aspects. And yeah, you'll figure out your issues with people later, right? All right. Tauruses, those big bulls, the big bulls in the grassy hills. What do we got here for the Taurus people? Fuck. Okay. One more little shuffle here for the Tauruses. Okay. Tauruses. All right. Ooh. Damn, Tauruses. You got a good fucking reading. I'm kind of jealous here. But upright, you got the Ace of Cups. So there's definitely a new idea and a new aspect of emotions that you never really understood before, and you're coming into that pretty strong, and you're feeling pretty confident in yourself of understanding yourself on an emotional level. And you know, this is definitely a good card, and this is definitely dealing with relationships because you have the Lovers card. So whatever's bringing you love, go towards that. Whatever this new direction that you're feeling, this new emotional output that you're experiencing is, you know, aim that towards love. This is where it's going. And then at the end, you got the Emperor card. So having that sense of authority, knowing what you want, knowing where you're going. You know, this is definitely like just everything's moving forward for Tauruses. And I'm kind of surprised here that this is what's happening. I'm going to pull a clarifier up in case there's a challenge. You do have the Moon in reversed. So, you know, the way I would see that is, you know, with all of this stuff, all this energy that's moving forward, you know, take some time to go back and, you know, think about things on a subconscious level. Take some time to meditate maybe. Because, you know, when there is a lot of beneficial energy coming your way and feeling like you have this greatness to yourself, you know, take the time to step back, see things objectively, see things from your inner self. But overall, you know, this is a great reading for the Tauruses compared to everyone else. Everyone else kind of is not really looking so hot, but those Tauruses, they got pretty damn lucky, I would say, for this month. But just keep things objective and just remember to, you know, I would say just meditate a little bit and sort of have that gratitude, that inner gratitude maybe, if you are experiencing a lot of benefit in your life, which depends on who you are and your circumstances, right? Obviously, it's not just going to be the same for everyone. Okay, last sign for the evening, and then I will log off. Hello, Cool Skull. Nice to see you. All right. All right, Geminis. What have we got? We got a lot of shit going on in your sign, but things are starting to shift away from you. So maybe if you're a Gemini and you felt like all this pressure has been put on you, you know, things are going to get a little easier. You do have the North Node there still for another 16 or so months. So, you know, the attention's still there, but this Venus retrograde is about to end soon. And, you know, things are going to get a little easier. Things are going to chill out for the Gemini. So just, you know, if you're feeling stressed out and you feel like you have a lot on your plate, you feel like there's a lot of pressure, you know, just chill out a bit. All right, Geminis, what do we got here? All right. So definitely feeling a lot of introspection here. You know, first you got the Two of Wands upright. So this is definitely a lot of planning for the future, planning for your vision. You're sort of at a place now where you might have some time to really think about where things are going, where you want to plan things out, where you want to make things happen. And this is planning for the voyage and planning for the journey. Definitely coming into that, but you do have some blockages here. You have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So there is something financially, materially, that's just not really coming in right now. And you're not really getting much news on it, and you're feeling stuck because at the end here you have this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So you're not feeling an abundance. You're not feeling that sense of wealth. And I definitely think that this is that time to start planning things out. And whatever this is coming at the end here of feeling like you're not in a sense of abundance, you feel like you're poor almost. And because of all this stuff that's not coming in, you're not getting the news, you're not getting the aspects of you want materially. I'm going to pull out another card for you guys. You got the Six of Swords upright. So you're definitely going in a new direction. This definitely feel like, you know, you're not getting that material satisfaction you want in life. And, you know, it's time to have faith and just move forward, plan your voyage, plan for the future. And I think you're going to get to where you want to go. And I think just to have that faith and not get too caught up in your material life and how your material life isn't really working out for you right now. If that's what's happening, you know, don't focus too much on that. Focus on the long-term vision, focus on the destination, because you are going somewhere. You are going somewhere that's better than where you've been. And I think this is the case for everyone. Everyone's kind of in a boat going off somewhere on this weird voyage in our secluded homes, arguing on social media about things. And, you know, materially we don't have the things we want, but we just have to have faith and move forward. All right. I'm going to leave it at that. Hope you enjoyed this reading this evening. And I will see you for Leo season next month. All right, fellas. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and peace.